Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we've crossed 24,000 subscribers. Can we get to 25? Please help me out by subscribing and like this video down below before we get started. Today we're going to be talking about Bernie Sanders and his implication on the 2020 election. Bernie Sanders is now leading in the state of Iowa. He's also now leading in the state of New Hampshire. The question is, what does this exactly mean now that he's leading in these two states? Well, it does look like Sanders and Biden are going to be the true frontrunners there. I don't believe that Buttigieg is viable, Warren's not viable, none of the other people are viable, and just as I'm recording this, Cory Booker decided to drop out of the presidential race, which is kind of funny. But besides the point, it does seem like Bernie and Biden are going to be together as the two frontrunners of this nomination as we go on Super Tuesday and beyond, and exactly we're going to see what happens. I don't think Warren is going to be taken well when Bernie decides to attack Warren, because Bernie is amping up the attacks on Warren. By the way, Warren did not endorse Bernie last election, which probably could have got him a lot more votes and changed a couple of states if she was out there campaigning with him, but she endorsed Hillary when it was apparent Hillary was going to win, and that really didn't bode very well for Bernie Sanders in the long run, because he wasn't able to get Warren's support. He was not able to get Warren's endorsement. That definitely would have helped him probably win Iowa, Massachusetts, maybe even Nevada and a couple of other states. So definitely he's got a reason to run against Warren. He's got reasons to attack Warren, who, by the way, is going to go down, especially when she comes in third or fourth in Iowa, third and fourth in the state of New Hampshire. As we can see here, Sanders actually doing better in New Hampshire, a state he's going to have to do well in order for him to compete for the nomination. So, without further ado, it does seem like the number one reason why this helps Donald Trump is because it fractures the Democrat Party. Last time the party was fractured, you had like near riots going on in the Philly Convention Center. You had a lot of unrest going on. Basically, people were angry because Bernie Sanders was not going to be the nominee. So you definitely angered a lot of people, especially young people, and demoralized them. They don't have a reason to vote for Biden. Why are they going to vote for Biden? The young people aren't even that too keen on the Obama administration. They don't really have a reason to come turn out for Biden because he was Obama's VP. They don't have a reason to come turn out for Biden. He's old. He's like, in their view, a greedy capitalist boomer. They're not going to come out and vote for him, honestly. Biden really doesn't take their best interest into mind a lot of the time. So I do not believe that Biden is going to be able to get their votes and get their support, and the support he'll get from them are people just voting against Trump. I don't believe that's a high percentage of the population. So I definitely think that people voting for Trump have a reason to vote for him. People voting for Biden really don't have a reason to vote for him. People had a reason to vote for Hillary Clinton because she was a woman. She would have made history. Biden really has none of that. He has a lower favorability rating than Donald Trump has. So I firmly believe that Biden would go out there and he would honestly get hit by Trump on the issues. He wouldn't respond because he can't make a calculated response like Hillary Clinton. Give her credit. She could at least make a calculated response to, attacks by Trump. They went hand in hand, punch for punch in the ring until Trump finally beat her. Biden will just be, two punches and he's out because he won't be able to respond. He'll just go off on a tangent, start talking about, being a gangster with corn pop in Delaware back in the 1990s or whatever, and he's not going to be able to go out there and win. So with a fractured party, there's even less of a reason to turn out for Biden. In fact, this is reason number two why Bernie's surge helps Trump, is that if Bernie's not the nominee, some of his support base has more of a reason to come aboard to Trump than what they had last time around, because they're not going to have somebody in there that's going to do their policy platform until 8 years from then. Obviously, if you vote for Trump and hold your nose, 4 years later, you'll probably get a Democrat president, and probably you will have a nominee that is farther to the left, because I think people in the center of the party will realize that it's not an electable thing to choose somebody that's far to the right. However, I do not believe that that's necessarily always the case. I don't believe that's true. I think that the Democrat Party would make a big mistake doing that as well. They just don't have that person towards the middle that can appeal to middle America. So they're going to have to try and flood the, southern border into Texas, Arizona, Georgia, and just take a knee and wait till they're able to enact their agenda. And even then we can see what the issue is, but that's beside the point. So yeah, I don't think that that would help Trump. Definitely a lot of Bernie bros will come aboard and vote for Donald Trump. I mean, they'd get some of their policies done with Trump. You could argue that Trump is to the left of Biden on some issues like criminal justice reform, which Trump passed. Biden opposed, and Biden defended the 1994 crime bill up until I believe it was last year. I think he's still defending it somehow. And by the way, Bernie voted for that too, but that's beside the point. But I definitely think that a lot more people would come aboard to voting for Trump on the, far left, as you kind of saw that in the last election cycle. A lot of Bernie bros became Trump fans, and you see this now. Bernie is actually, last time around, was outperforming Hillary in the polls, had a plus 20 favorability. He now has a net favorable rating that's in the negatives, and definitely I believe that Bernie Sanders, he just would lose to Trump. He's not doing well in the polls. I definitely think there's a lot of red flags about him that I'm not even going to mention. We'll talk about those later, but he has a lot more baggage than I think a lot of his fans realize, but that's beside the point. And that brings us to our third point. If Bernie gets the nomination, I firmly believe he will not be able to beat Donald Trump. He will not be able to win the election. His support base is relatively small, and he lost a primary to Hillary Clinton. If he magically got through and beat Biden, I don't believe he would beat Trump. Trump would hit him harder on the issues than I believe any Democrat would. And him just repeating the same nonsense over and over again, where you call Trump all these names. When you do that, you're calling his voters and your potential pickups names. Like last time around, Bernie was very careful and calculated. He was less, PC. He was less identitarian. He still said off-the-wall things, but definitely Bernie Sanders was not like the far left wrapped up into one, individual. He would talk about issues. He would talk about issues like trade and say trade is bad and we need tariffs and things like that. But now he's saying, I'm not voting for the USMCA. I'm not voting for Trump's tariffs. Well, he's just doing it to spite Trump. I don't believe he actually cares that much about the country or about the issues and all this other nonsense. And a lot of his policies have done very poorly when they've been put into referendums, even in places like California, which is a place where Medicare for All failed, even places like his home state of Vermont. Partially why they have a Republican governor right now is arguably because of Bernie Sanders. But again, that's really beside the point. I definitely do believe that Bernie wouldn't lose in a landslide. I don't believe it would be McGovern, but I definitely believe he would lose by a substantial margin. The election map would very well look like not only just 2016. I think Trump would pick up some states, and I think in places where you could argue Trump has struggled in the past, like in the suburbs, I think he would do better. And then you might see Lincoln Chafee, if he is the Libertarian nominee, pick up support, which is not even a sure thing, by the way, because Vermin Supreme, the guy with the boot on his head that wants to give people, I guess you would say, free ponies and enforce mandatory toothbrushing laws, calls himself a friendly fascist, a dictator you can trust, and all things like that. He's a nut job, is the front runner of the Libertarian Party, and it's just a symbol of how bad the Libertarian Party actually has become and how cringe it is, because that's basically what it is. The Libertarian Party is a total joke. They don't even represent true libertarian values anymore. It's just a bunch of nut jobs who just get high and start talking about anarchy. But that's really the point. Those are really the three reasons that sum it up. I don't believe that Bernie Sanders is capable of beating Trump. I don't believe he's capable of beating Joe Biden. But I disagree with Styx's analysis this morning when he said, go vote for Biden in the Dem primary. I say go vote for Bernie in the Dem primary because he's probably not going to be able to win, and it will further the divide if he loses a close election. Even if he does get the nomination, he's probably not going to win. Again, I don't believe that Trump will be able to go out there and lose to Bernie Sanders, somebody who's wildly unpopular among his party's establishment. I don't believe that would change overnight. The undecided voter does exist. I don't believe that Bernie Sanders is necessarily somebody that will take over from Trump easily well and take the nomination like that. It's not going to happen. I definitely think a lot more people will stick with Trump. You have a fractured Democrat base. A lot of Biden people might not show up for Bernie. A lot of Bernie people might not show up for Biden. But the Biden people probably outnumber the Bernie people, and Bernie won't be able to energize the support base needed to carry states like in the Rust Belt. This isn't 2016 anymore. Just like Joe Biden won't win Pennsylvania, this isn't 2008 anymore. Even though Hillary Clinton actually spent more of her formative years in the state of Pennsylvania than Joe Biden did, and Hillary Clinton actually got more votes in the state in like Philadelphia than Obama got, and she still lost because Trump actually made an appeal. Biden is tired. He doesn't know what state he's in. He's going to lose. And that's the end of the story, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Please click the like button, comment down below, subscribe, and turn the bell on for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media, join the Discord, donate to the Patreon, links in description for exclusive content. And thanks everybody for watching. Red Eagle, out.